空手をベースとしているのがタケルです。
The drama surrounding the most feared Japanese fighters in combat sports begins long before the roar of a crowd, long before the bright lights and polished belts, long before the world knew their names. It begins in quiet gyms, hidden corners of Tokyo and Yokohama, on old wooden floors soaked with the sweat of generations. It begins with discipline, with a nation's ancient understanding of combat, with the kind of resolve built over centuries of samurai spirit. Because for decades, the world underestimated Japan's fighters. Their smaller frames, lighter builds, and humble demeanors deceived opponents into believing these men were simply technical stylists, warriors without bite. But legends were about to rise, fighters whose fists, feet, and fury would carve their names into combat history with knockout power that made even giants tremble. It starts with a boy born in April of 1993. His name was Naoya Inoue, though the world would one day chant another name for him, the Monster. His father, Shingo Inoue, a former boxer himself, dreamed not merely of training his son, but of forging him. From early childhood, Shingo sculpted Naoya into something rare, something dangerous, sharpening every technique with a precision that bordered on obsession. Before long, there were no opponents left for him in Japan's amateur scene. No rivals capable of matching his intensity, his timing, or that eerie calm he carried into every ring. So Naoya left the comfort of familiar waters and dove headfirst into the ocean of professional killers, signing with Ohashi Boxing Gym under one condition, that he would never be fed easy prey. He did not want warm-ups. He wanted danger, and danger came immediately. October 2012. Naoya Inoue stepped into the professional ring for the very first time. Across from him stood a Filipino champion with a jaw-dropping record of 162-4, Chris O'Miro. No ordinary debut, no warm welcome. The boxing world watched this mismatch with confidence that the veteran would crush the young Japanese fighter like a dry leaf underfoot. But the first bell told a different story. Inoue's punches were cold, calculated, and as precise as a sniper's scope. Each shot cut through the air with lethal clarity, crashing into Omiro's face again and again, dismantling the veteran's arrogance. When Omiro realized he was losing, he did something unforgivable. He struck Inoue after the bell. The audience gasped. Inoue didn't. Instead, he answered with a combination so vicious, it seemed ripped out of a Gordon Ramsay meltdown, turning Omiro's defiance into something resembling rat foie gras. The message was clear. A new king had begun his rise, and the monster was hungry. In the years that followed, Inoue carved through 5 more opponents with unrelenting brutality, earning himself a title shot. His challenger was fellow countryman Tomo Aramatsu, a seasoned warrior far older and infinitely more experienced. But experience does not save you from destiny. In moments, Naoya adjusted, measured, and unleashed a left hand that sent Aramatsu tumbling as if the floor had vanished beneath him. Dazed, unfocused, barely coherent, Aramatsu rose, only for Inoue to tear into him like a predator who had smelled blood. The knockout was merciless. A star ascended that night, and Japan felt the ground shift beneath it. But Inoue wasn't the only prodigy rising. Around the same era, in the world of kickboxing, Tenshin Nasukawa was rewriting the script for what a young fighter could be. Fast, fluid, and frighteningly explosive, Tenshin stepped into the ring with a confidence that bordered on divine. In one of his early displays, after a few seconds of calibrating his aim, he unleashed a left hand that sent Tomo Aramatsu crashing to the canvas. Aramatsu tried to continue, but Tenshin smelled weakness the way sharks smell blood miles away. What came next was blitzkrieg. Tenshin's high kick decapitated the air between him and his opponent, nearly taking Aramatsu's head with it. The body hit the canvas in a lifeless heap. A new star ignited in the fighting world sky, dazzling, terrifying, unstoppable. Meanwhile, another Japanese warrior was sharpening his weapons. Rukiya Anpo. In February 2017, he turned a fight against Hiroshi Mizamaki into a cinematic slasher film, blending anime-style ferocity with the chaos of a Street Fighter brawl. Their fight began at a blistering pace, front kicks snapping like whips, punches exploding like firecrackers. Anpo's limbs were not merely striking tools, they were lethal weapons. Mizamaki tried to survive, staggering through the storm until a devastating scissor kick folded him into the canvas like a broken marionette. Lights out. Fight over. Rukiya Anpo had arrived with a message. Fear me. And yet, another monster was awakening on a different stage. Takeru Segawa, born crusher, future icon, entered the Crush organization with an appetite for violence. Against Hirumi Kamada, he sliced, diced, and dismantled his opponent like a chef preparing a tempura roll. Except knives don't hit this hard. His fists found jaws with unnatural accuracy, switching off lights like he was flipping breakers in a dark alley. But it was Christmas Eve 2014 when Naoya Inoue delivered one of the most terrifying performances in boxing history. Facing former WBO champion Omar Narvaez, who had defended his title 27 times. Inoue wasted no time. He assaulted the veteran with missile-like punches, dropping him repeatedly. In the second round, the onslaught reached unbearable intensity. Narvaez collapsed again, unable to withstand the explosion of perfectly calibrated violence. Inoue claimed yet another world title. The monster was now bigger, bolder, and deadlier. For years later, still hungry, still restless, Inoue hunted again. He dismantled Yuta Murakoshi with ruthless precision, sending the crowd into an uproar as Murakoshi's legs went full Tokyo drift. Gold was good, but not enough. Inoue marched into tournament after tournament, collecting victims like trophies. China's Deng Zi was one of them. Anpo launched him onto what looked like an involuntary amusement park ride, the Anpo Airlines, before dropping him face-first into oblivion. The knockout looked like a painting, a tragic portrait of human fragility. But not every fight was victory. In 2012, Takeru faced Yuki Kayatani in a bout that punished his confidence. Kayatani hammered him with methodical power, eventually breaking Takeru's nose and forcing a stoppage. Blood poured down his face like a warning. But the loss forged him anew. The word defeat would not appear in his vocabulary again for 10 long years. And while Takeru sharpened himself through suffering, Inoue continued carving his legacy. May 2018, his opponent was Jamie McDonnell, the British WBA champion who had never been knocked out in 30-plus fights. The moment the bell rang, Inoue blitzed him with the urgency of a man late for a Black Friday sale. The brutality was overwhelming. Within minutes, McDonnell tasted knockout defeat for the first time. The monster added another belt to his collection. Kickboxing 2 witnessed its share of masterpieces. Tenshin Nasukawa danced through tournaments with balletic violence, finishing opponents with the kind of elegance only he possessed. In another time, another ring, Rukiya Anpo faced Brazilian fighter Alan Suarez and delivered gravity-defying acrobatics that left audiences speechless. A double kick to the head, a flurry of destruction, pure knockout artistry. And Takeru, he kept climbing. Every fight was another step toward greatness. He battled through broken noses, brutal wars, and endless skepticism. When he met Taiga Kawabe for the Crush Super Bantamweight belt, he dominated relentlessly. But Kawabe fought back, firing strikes that would have discouraged anyone else. Takeru responded by unleashing his full arsenal, swift, elegant, and merciless. After a Saka-level break, he returned in Bankai mode and severed Kawabe's chances with a knockout that echoed through the arena. Takeru claimed gold. Born Crusher wasn't just a nickname, it was prophecy. The stakes rose again in 2019 when Naoya Inoue faced Emmanuel Rodriguez in the semifinals of the World Boxing Super Series. Rodriguez was undefeated, dangerous, a champion. But disrespect had been shown before the fight. Rodriguez's coach shoved Inoue's father, a sin that could not go unanswered. Inoue entered the ring not to box, but to avenge. The fight began harshly, Rodriguez pressing forward aggressively. But anger fueled the monster. In the second round, Inoue unleashed hell. Bombardment after bombardment shattered Rodriguez's resistance. Knockdown, collapse, defeat. Inoue claimed the IBF belt and justice in one violent sweep. But victory did not come easily in every chapter. In the tournament's final, Inoue faced living legend Naoya Donaire. It became a war, arguably the greatest bantamweight war of the modern era. Donaire pushed Inoue to the edge, cutting him, staggering him, nearly breaking him. For the first time, the monster bled. Yet somewhere between pain and pride, he activated something primal. He attacked with feverish precision, refusing to surrender. Their battle raged until the 11th round, when Inoue landed a body shot so perfect it seemed guided by fate. Donaire crumbled. Inoue claimed victory by unanimous decision and hoisted the Muhammad Ali Trophy. He had nearly lost his zero that night, but great fighters flirt with loss to taste legacy. On the kickboxing side, tension continued to reign. In the final of another tournament, Tenshin Nasukawa faced Takeru Segawa in a fierce clash, knocking him down, battering him, making him kneel before finishing him with a sequence so violent it earned him a new belt and a $25,000 bonus. That night, after the mayhem, Tenshin went home and watched anime. The duality of a fighter, destroyer in the ring, kid at heart. Rukiya Anpo too continued delivering unforgettable knockouts. Against Koki, he was dropped early, rose instantly, and returned fire like a warrior possessed. His strikes were righteous vengeance. His finish, samurai swift. And when Takeru Segawa entered international waters and met Russian powerhouse Alexander Prelip, the tension felt like the echo of the Russo-Japanese War. Prelip hammered him with Siberian cold fists, but Takeru withstood the storm and dismantled the Russian with body shots that crumbled him atom by atom. Inoue's path toward absolute championship reached new heights in December 2022 when he faced Paul Butler. But this was no ordinary win. This was mockery, humiliation. The monster played with Butler, piecing him apart like a cat tormenting prey before the kill. For 6 rounds, he reduced Butler's confidence to dust before finally finishing him with a knockout that crowned Inoue the undisputed champion of the world. Even Tenshin faced betrayal. In a bout against Thai fighter Wanchong, he extended a hand of respect, only for the Thai fighter to respond with a cheap, dishonorable kick. Tenshin's expression hardened. Honor forgotten, violence awakened. He unleashed combinations that left Wanchong drowning in pain until a spinning back kick, an ushiro-jiri straight out of a samurai duel, sent him unconscious to the canvas. Respect was restored through force. Across decades and divisions, these Japanese fighters redefined what the world thought possible. Smaller frames? Underestimated physiques? It never mattered. Their power wasn't in size. It was in spirit, in precision, in generations of fighting culture and mastery. They proved that a true warrior doesn't ask for fear. He earns it through fists, feet, and an unbreakable will forged in silence long before the spotlight ever touches him. Even today, mention their names: Inoue, Tenshin, Anpo, Takeru, and audiences feel a chill. Not of fear, but of awe. Because these warriors remind the world that legends are not born. They are built through pain, discipline, and the refusal to break. And the next generation watches, learning, dreaming, waiting for their chance to continue this legacy of destruction. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Japan's deadliest fighters, let me know in the comments. Who impressed you the most? Which knockout made your jaw drop? And which fighter should we cover next? Don't forget to hit like if this storytelling brought the fights to life for you. Subscribe for more cinematic combat documentaries, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next chapter in the world of warriors.